From the hollers and hills of West Virginia, it's Heavenly Hills Homestead with another episode, so stay tuned. Alright guys, so we got our black nebula carrots back in. The were ones that didn't germinate. And we got our little fingers back in that didn't germinate. And they sent me this. I don't know what that is. Mizuna. That's the receipt. Put it back. Mizuna Benihushi. I don't know. However you pronounce that. Kind of looks like some sort of a Swiss char. But here's the back of it. And newly developed Japanese heirloom, nutritious purple stems and dark green. Makes a lovely contrast, and the delicate flavor is unparalleled, adapted to both extreme heat and cold. A small percentage of plants will have smooth mustard-shaped leaves. I guess this is a mustard. Or maybe not. Anyhow, that's how you do that. And here's the back of this. The reason why I'm doing this is because this is how I get the lot number on the back to make sure that it's good. This seems to be like the same lot number from the other pack that I had of the little fingers. Sometimes I throw the packs away and I gotta have the lot number. So this is why you'll see me flip. I'll read the back of them as well, but when you see me flip the packs over, I'm getting all the information on the back so I can, if something goes wrong, because sometimes I throw the seed packs away if they're empty, and then sometimes I keep them, but I threw these seed packs away, so the only way I had to get them was by going back on my videos and watching the videos, and I got the lot numbers off of there and used it. So all right guys, so let's say here something's trying to eat my plants here. We're gonna have to get some kind of stuff in here for this. We can't be having nothing to eat on my stuff. No. So we'll get that stuff taken care of. That carrot there is trying to live. That one there is doing excellent now.
The little one?
Tomatoes starting to look good there. That tomato's starting to look good there. So let me see. Yeah, it's on 100. So the Lake Flat Dutch is looking good. The pepper plant's looking good. All right, so everything's shaping up. That Swiss char back there is trying to grow big. Just can't get that cilantro to do much. So hopefully it'll come out of its state of shock or whatever's wrong with it. And then this sunflower looks like he's trying to grow. So I don't know. Maybe he'll snap out of it. I don't know that he will, but if he don't, we got that one right there and that one right there that we can use if he don't come out of his state of whatever he's in, funk, shock, whatever you want to call it. All right guys, so let's get this done. All right guys, what we got to do today? We have to straighten up the yard, clean up everything, pick up my mess from growing that I've been putting off and putting off and putting off. Why do we have to do it in such an urgency today and cut the grass? Because WVVA News is coming here tomorrow they wanted to come today. I had to tell them no. They're coming here tomorrow, and they're going to do an exclusive on my world record giant butternut. I am kind of happy about it, and then another part of me is kind of like, maybe I should have just been quiet, because I'm not, it's easy to talk to my camera on my phone, you know. Oh, it's getting soft. Yep, she's starting to get softer. Look her. It's easy to talk to, you know that, but it's not so easy to do it whenever I know it's going to be on the news. All right, I can put it on YouTube, and what does it matter, right? I got 82 subscribers now, and you know, if they follow, you know, and watch, cool. You know what I'm saying? But the only time I talk to any of you is if you comment something or email me. So, you know, but it's just different, I guess, when it's going to be on the news, and then people that'll see you out and about, then be like, hey, that's that one guy we seen on the news. You know, so I don't know. It's just kind of different, I guess. Anyways, we got to go check some trash, and I got to come back here, clean up the whole yard, cut the grass, and get stuff ready for them to come tomorrow. So, yeah, let's get it done. Gotta get corn. Okay. All right, now we got the corn. All right, got a possum in here. Let's dispatch him and get him out and reset it. All right, guys, put out some stuff. Yeah, I can smell that peanut butter from a long way off, man. I know if I can smell it, deer can too. All right, guys, let's take a look at this. Some of y'all probably wonder, and I realize, first off, I realize some of you don't get to do this, okay? And it's a shame, that you're not allowed to do it. Do you go out fishing with just a hook, or do you put a piece of bait on there, or lure of some sort? I guarantee you're not just dragging a hook through the water and catching a fish. All right, so same thing goes with hunting. When you have to compete with other things, natural resources that they eat, like acorns and all that, and then people's farms, that orchards and things like that. When you have to compete with all that, okay, during hunting season, I think it's only fair and right that you're allowed to bait. I mean, I don't see the problem with putting some corn out, all right? And now there are those cases, though, that I would agree that baiting is bad, and that's whenever, there's chances for CWD, which is chronic wasting disease, or, the other one, which is blue tongue, stuff like that. If there's, an outbreak, or it could be, of course, you need to take precaution and not bait. But in many instances, that's not the case, and you're having to compete with natural resources. You're having to compete with somebody that has a field that they've planted something in that the deer love, or an apple orchard, or a persimmons orchard, or whatever. Okay, you're having to compete with all that. Somebody else's cornfield, right? And you're not allowed, while they're not technically baiting, they are baiting on their property. They have resources there that the deer like, and the deer are flocking to there. All right, well, it's not fair to those that live around them to not be able to bait in turn, you know what I mean, to be able to get those animals. I mean, so again, I just think it's very unfair practice that people do in states that are not here, and it's just not fair to the general public, because what ends up happening is all the deer hold up on one spot, and they're not allowed. If you choose to not hunt over bait, that's your choice. Okay. Me personally, I've hunted many a hunt without bait, and I mean, it is what it is. The bigger bucks will tend to avoid baited areas until late of the night. They're out of there by morning, but there are those times that by morning, or late evening, they have funneled in and are there at the bait site. You know what I mean? So, I mean, while I do understand and I do believe that bigger bucks will avoid bait at all costs, Annie was hunting this morning. She had a big one walk right behind everything, walk straight across, right behind everything. She said it was huge. It was right before daylight, and said it had to be one of them big bucks. I mean, he just walked right on through. Okay, he had no interest in what was here, and there wasn't a whole lot here left, but he wasn't interested in it. So, it is what it is. Okay, guys. But again, I just wanted to clarify. I understand that some of y'all aren't allowed to hunt around, hunt with bait, and I legitimately feel for you, because I think all rights, if you want to do it, you should be allowed to put out corn, or a mineral block, or a feed block, and feed those deer and get them coming in and get you a chance, to get you a deer. So let's just say this real quick and we'll quit. Let's say you got a big farm beside you. They have corn, they have crops, brassicas and stuff like that they put out for cover crops during the wintertime, which is already planted in the fall, so it's growing now. They got cornfields, standing cornfields, and they've got a few apple trees. How many deer do you think, and you have a piece of property right beside it, you have one little old acre of property right beside it, okay? How many deer do you think you're going to get to come in from that farm beside you that has brassicas, that has standing corn, and has apple trees? How many deer do you think you're going to get to come over? Or do you? Probably none. Very rare. You'll probably get a passer through here and there, but unless you're at a prime location where your property is the intersection to going to their beds or you know, something of the sort, or maybe going to their food source, you're messed up, you know. So, and to not let you be able to put some corn out or whatever, I think it's wrong. Now, I put corn out right now for Jaden and Annie. Annie's never killed a deer, never has killed a deer. This is going to be her first year. If she gets one, it'll be her first year, okay, to kill a deer. And I'm really excited for her, and I hope she gets one. She's passed on several of them so far. She's passed on a little 3-point that she thought was Jaden's buck. Turns out it wasn't Jaden's buck. And this morning she passed on 4 does, okay? So that's pretty cool, all right? But I put this out the way I do, and that's what I want to explain to you. I put the corn out the way I do to help increase Annie and Jaden's chances. They're new to this, and while we have that, okay, you can see right through. See that hole where the back of the blind is and the sun's coming through? Well, any movement in there, the deer can see that, okay? But I have to have that open so I can see out back. All right, so we leave the screen up and we shoot through the screen, but they can still see movement in through there. So anyhow, the reason why I put the corn like this against the logs, okay, if their head's down on this side of the log, or their head is down on this side of the log, they only got one eye on this side. On that side, they only got one eye seeing over to us. If they're on this side, both eyes are down, you know, and they don't see very well up there and what the movement is, and it gives Jaden and Annie a time to get set up and ready to rock and roll, okay? That's the reason why I put the corn like that right there. And that's the reason why I put corn over in this area right here, because I've seen deer come over here and eat. I've seen them come over here and eat, you know, and they're the way they're standing is good shots, but you gotta you know, just get their heads down so that you can get that opportunity. You see here's a nice, and my mock scrape, I need to freshen it up today. But I mean, look at that. You can see all the markings in there where them bucks have been scraping it and scraping it and scraping it. So they're freshening that up a lot. Look at the big buck poop right there. Huge buck poop, okay? Buck poop everywhere through here. So there's several of them moving through the area. You know, not to mention, you know, we got the hanging peanut butter that drips down onto the ground. I put corn underneath it, so it makes it peanut butter persimmons corn, because it's corn persimmons, and then that's a peanut butter block. Put corn all the way over in through here, all that over in there, and all that does is help Annie and Jaden. I put corn, I disperse it out through there broadly, and that's just to suck them in to this area. It's lightly spread out through there to attract, and then it's heavily concentrated in this area right here to hold them, all right? So if you're using corn and you have a feeder, okay, if it's a stationary feeder and they have to walk up to it and eat it, you may want to rethink. I have those, and I've rethought my thinking on them, because only one deer can stand there at a time, all right? And while that might be good if there's one big buck comes through, it's not good if there's just, you know, a big bunch of does, and you need to figure out which one's which, and you need them all busy, right? Because they're all not going to go to that feeder. They're going to fight over it, all right? And it's just not good. And if you have one of the ones that disperse your corn, okay, automatic feeder, and it throws your corn everywhere, well, you're like here, while they're attracted, okay, and they'll work all this, all right, and they'll work it all. It's not concentrated as much in one area. Now, I realize some of it falls directly under the feeder, and, you know, that'll concentrate in there. But how fast do you think one deer or two is going to eat that little bit of pile that comes underneath the feeder? It'll be gone in, you know, just a couple minutes. And when you need to hold them there for several minutes, you know, you're you know, and hold them still at one spot, okay? And that's the other thing with the one feeder. I realize if they got a feeder they can walk up to, you've got them held there and everything, and that would be good if you placed it on a shooting lane. Let's say that, you know, I got them concentrated into here real quick. You know, let's talk about this. We concentrate them in here. We've spread it out through there, but for the deer that are way out there, okay, like back in there, if I want to hold them there for any amount of time, what I could do is I could put a stationary feeder out there to where it holds one deer. Okay, now the other deer are going to know that all this is open, you know, and it'll, with that one deer, maybe it just gets their attention, maybe it, you know, intrigues their hunger, you know, their drive to go and get food. Maybe they're like, oh yeah, I could eat a little bit more of that today, and they go get the corn. Now you could put a stationary feeder down in there, and that would work good because it's on your shooting lane, and you'd have a good clear shot, on that deer. And so I believe stationary ones are good for shooting lanes, far down the shooting lane, just to help hold them and keep them attracted in. Okay, but back to the automatic feeder. That automatic feeder spreads it all out, and you're getting it dispersed, kind of sparsely out through here. And while they'll come in, they'll work all that. There's no concentration of it except for right underneath the feeder, and it's not a heavy concentration of it. So you're not going to hold them there for very long. So the reason why I hand spread all this food is because I can say, okay, I need some right here in that corner. Those two tree stumps there can hide and conceal me in my movement, and he will turn broadside and I'll get a good shot. Same thing with all this stuff here, okay? Same thing with over here, all right? And putting the food out by hand like this allows you to put more in certain areas, less in other areas, so they can meander through here. And, oh yeah, here's another nice pile, and munch. And while it seems natural to them, all right, that it has happened like that, it's purposely designed to help the hunter. All right, so that's why I take my food and throw it out by hand and all that good stuff. So anyhow, let's go on ahead and get back over to the house and get some stuff done today. Okay, guys, our little indoor stuff is going on here. What in the world has happened there? I hope that straightens up. Looks like it might not make it. It's a sunflower. All right, then I got that sunflower right there. This one right here is trying to grow. So, look, guys, tomorrow we're going to be on the news for the giant butternut squash. WVVA is going to be the ones coming up and interviewing or whatever. Yeah, so we're going to be doing that. Also, I have 2 sponsors now. I have Previgenics and I have Just Sensational Bare Ground. Trident's Pride is the fertilizer that I used. There's some other ones that are there that I'm looking at and probably will get. I had talked to a few other people on that, so we'll see, what we can get done. Look, if I used your products and I liked it, then I'm going to tell everybody. I'm going to let everybody know. I'm going to share that information with people. Hopefully people will come over and buy your stuff. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. There was one that if I could just get some more subscribers, if you guys could help me out and go get me some, more subscribers, then I could help you guys out. Because if I have more subscribers, then we can do an affiliated, deal, and that would help me out too. So, it's expensive to do this. All right, I've went over this before, and I've tried to tell y'all, it's not cheap. You look at it, and it doesn't seem like it costs that much until, hang on. Okay, so anyhow, it costs a lot of money. That money varies, and here's the deal. You can spend as much as you can afford on growing these things, literally. I have talked to people that have spent, way more than I did. All right. I spent $1,000 this year, and I'm not gonna lie. There was no way to do anything else this summer because I spent my money on growing giant stuff. Okay. Does it pay off? Yeah. If you can get your stuff to the weigh-offs, if you can get third place, all the way to first place, it pays off. You sell your pumpkins as well. So, there is money in it, okay? But, for me, it's not about the money, and it's really not about winning, okay? To me, it's about pushing myself and pushing the limits of a plant and a fruit. You understand? So while it's fun to say, hey, I grew the world record butternut squash, okay, that's fun to say. That's cool to say. My kids are going to have that to say. They're going to be able to say, hey, my dad grew something that is in Guinness World Records. That's going to be great. That's going to be fun. But at the end of the day, that's not what I'm about. I'm not about the money or the records or the recognition or the fame. I'm about pushing myself to achieve greater and do better. Okay? And that's what I said before earlier in the season is don't think of this as a competition right now. This is fun. Okay? This sunflower or that sunflower, whatever, okay? That sweet potato or this sweet potato, all right? That tomato plant or this tomato plant or one of them over there, okay? Those right now are fun, okay? while they are in a competition, okay, this is in competition, while this stuff's all in a competition, the fact of the matter is that I'm just going to have fun because if I look at this as a competition right now, okay, and I'm like, man, my sunflower, it's not growing at all, and it's not. That little thing right here is just not wanting to grow. I mean, look at it. It's turning green, dark green. The leaves are curling, so it's got a lot of juice going to it, right? Dark green leaves. This is not growing. So, you would look at that and you would get lost, because you're in a competition, right? And so you're wanting to be first. Whereas my approach to this is, I wonder what's wrong with my plant. Why ain't you growing? Well, do you need more water? Do you need more fertilizer? Do you need less of fertilizer? What are your needs? You see what I'm saying? And I try to figure it out. Okay, I take the stress out by getting rid of the competition aspect of it. You understand? So while it's not a competition right now. Right now, it's playing and learning and growing and figuring it all out. I can do competition time when it's competition day. You understand? Those pumpkins out there this year, sorry, I keep having to clear my throat. Those pumpkins out there this year was a blast. I had fun. You guys seen how much fun I was having with that stuff, right? Okay, so here's the thing. If I would have sat back and compared my stuff to everybody else's I was seeing, I would have been like, man, why ain't mine doing that? Why ain't mine growing? I was tickled and happy with what I had. Even though I kept going, grow, baby, grow, get bigger, get bigger, get bigger. I hope. Okay. At the end and I pushed myself and I pushed the plants. At the end of the day, I wasn't competing against those guys at that time. I was competing against myself to see what I could get to happen and to test out, my growing abilities and my knowledge, and to test out all kinds of different ideas that I've had, and strategies, and what happens when I mix this fertilizer with this fertilizer and I give it this much, does that help any, on and on and on. So I competed with myself, and that is what gave me the success that I had this year. Because, like I said, if I would have been competing and worrying about what everybody else around me was doing, well, I would have gave up long ago. You see what I'm saying? If I would have looked at all those butternuts, when I broke my 59-pound one off of the vine, if I would have looked that day and said, well, somebody beat it with a 66-pounder, somebody beat it with a 68-pounder, and then, the following weekend, a 71-pound one was weighed, and then a 75 one or something like that was weighed, or 73, whatever it was. And then, the week after that, the 82 was grown, or maybe it was the same weekend as the 70 ones. Well, anyhow, however it went, if I would have looked at that then, late season like it was, really no hope of growing another giant, okay? 38 days, the weather, back when I set the fruit, the weather was, supposed to be on the downhill, getting bad. Summer was over, fall was coming, and there's no chance of growing to the end of October, because by mid-October, frost would hit and everything would die and I'm done, right? But that's not what I did. I didn't say, well, there's no sense in doing it. I pollinated that fruit. I looked at that fruit. I grew that fruit. I watched that fruit. I still, in my mind, had a shot until everything was said and done. I had a shot to win, okay? I treated that plant like it was still July or August, and I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing on that plant until I got the results I needed and that I wanted, okay? And I didn't worry about everybody else. I didn't worry about the noise of everybody else and everything that had gone on with it. And I'm not trying to say that to take away from those people, because they grew some awesome stuff. That's That's incredible, okay? I'm just telling you, if I would have focused on that, I would have quit. And I said, well, I'll try it again next year, okay? And then I wouldn't be sitting here right now with a world record. So, with that being said, I think what we have to remember, and what I'm trying to convey to you, is next year or even this year, if you're in these competitions during the winter time, which I encourage you to get into them, man. They're fun. They're fun. But if for some reason, okay, you haven't grown the best that you want to grow, the best that you want to grow, not what everybody else thinks, the best that you want to grow, okay, then it is my advice that you compete against yourself. See how good of a person, a grower, is in there, okay? See what kind of great ideas you can come up with. Play around with everything. Grow stuff and just have fun. Like this stuff right now, this is all to prepare for next season. I'm growing this now to prepare for next season. I'm trying to figure out what I need to do to that sunflower plant so that I can maximize its potential and grow a 20 plus foot sunflower with a 30-inch head. I want a 30 diameter head, and I want that sunflower at 20 plus foot tall. Now what do I got to do to get that? See, that's my goal. That's what I want. That in my mind. When I grow these pumpkins next year, I'm okay. I want 3 pumpkins that weigh 1,333.9 pounds apiece. How do I get that? How do I make that happen? How do I make that realistic? And so by doing that and having that mindset, I'm able to come up with some creative ideas that might otherwise not think about, because I'm worried about what everybody else was doing and how they done it, and what kind of food they fed, and all that noise. At the beginning of the year, I got hung up on that. I'd ask these growers, oh, what'd you feed that thing? How much did you give of that fertilizer? And just on and on and on. And here's the thing, they legitimately can't tell me what, they can tell me what they did, but what good is what they did going to help me with what I'm doing? Okay, because they don't know what my soil's like. They don't know if it's soft. They don't know if it's clay. They don't know if it's, got good nutrients in it. They don't know if it's got bad nutrients in it. They don't know if I can water it X amount of times a day, or if it, even if I did water it, if it holds water good, or if it all just drains off of it. And there's so many things. Yeah, on water that they don't know, okay? So if they try to give me advice, I mean, really, they're just shooting in the wind. They're just telling me what they done, okay? And I could try that and it not work at all. I could try that. I could do their same feeding schedules. They could literally take their journals and their feeding schedules, make copies of them, email me the copies. I could follow them to a T, and I could follow those to a T, and it wouldn't help me none. Okay, literally, I could go and we could get the guy that just grew the 2,700 pound pumpkin, and he could give me his feeding schedules. He could give me every dose of fertilizer he gave, what time of the day he gave me the fertilizer. I mean, we could break it down into some crazy things, right? And I could get that and say, all right, man, I'm going to do this, and this, just like he done it. Same seed, same everything. Same grow lights. If he had grow lights to start the seeds in, the whole 9 yards, I could do that and might not even grow a 1,000-pound pumpkin, right? So I had to learn that this year, that while those guys are wanting to help, wanting to tell me some things, about how to grow and what to use, at the same time, they really can't give me a dose, for amount for the fertilizer. They can't, they just, there's some things they can't say. Now they can say, hey, you know, if maybe try to get you a backpack sprayer next year, you know, that's like a blower, because it makes it easier. You can, you know, literally spray your whole patch in like 5-10 minutes and be done, instead of like with a hand pump sprayer and you take 2-3 hours. You see what I'm saying? They can help with that kind of stuff, you know, because that's legitimately helping and giving a good idea that is overall, you know, good advice for everybody. But they don't know what's in this ground. They don't know, and so, you know, when we're sitting back and we're looking at other guys and we're like, man, you know, they're growing and I'm not, and, you know, my pumpkin's way smaller, or my watermelon's smaller, or whatever it is, you know, and you're sitting there scratching your head wondering what you're doing wrong. The first thing that I'm going to tell you that you're doing wrong is you're looking at everybody else. And really all you got to do is stop and take a look at yourself and say, all right, let's see here. What do I need to do? What do I know I can do? What do I need to do? And let's get it done, right? So that's what I was saying. You can throw an absurd amount of money at this, right? I mean, $1,000 this summer, that was a big bunch of money for us. And I probably could have fed these guys, you know, $2,500 worth of food. And yes, my pumpkins would have been bigger, okay, because I could have fed them more and more often, all right? But at the same time, you know, you gotta be able to do it in a way that's for you. It's going to be, for me, it makes it easier on me, right? But in turn, it also makes it hard, because I have to produce. Okay, I have to produce in order to keep them. You're not going to get a sponsor or any help and not produce. Okay, so that doesn't make the pressure come on. Okay, so I know some of you guys are going to, you know, probably think, well, he's got sponsors and I've been growing 10 times longer than him, and, you know, this, that, and the other. Well, I want you to think about that aspect of it, because it is going to put a whole other set of pressure on me, because I have to perform. I have to grow something, you know, awesome in order to keep sponsors, because a sponsor don't have to sponsor you. That's the thing about sponsors. At any point in time, they can say, well, you know, it's been a nice ride, thanks, but we're out of here. Okay, because there's no commitment in sponsoring somebody, right? So, you know, before you think that I was gifted something that's just incredibly awesome, I wanted you to know that there is a stress level to that too, because I have to get things to grow. Things have to go right, or, you know, like if we have a bad year and my pumpkins explode and stuff like that, well, I'm, you know, just gonna be crap out of luck, right? And all these people just took a chance. So, I mean, there's a lot of stress behind that. So don't think that I'm just, you know, all happy, lucky, like, yeah, you know, because I am thrilled. I'm over the moon about it. But there is stress that goes with it. So it's not all, you know, sunshine and rainbows, as some of y'all probably think it is. It's hard. It's hard work. And when I'm asking you guys to help me to get more subscribers so that I can get affiliated, you know, affiliate links and things like that with these other companies, it's not that you're helping me, you know, like, oh, well, I'm not going to help him get any more subscribers, because I'll help him, he's going to get, you know, more sponsors, or this, that, and the other. What you don't understand is, you help me, I can help y'all. Okay, and like, when y'all help me, I can get, you know, I can get stuff and give away product for giveaways from the channel. I can afford to give all my seeds away instead of have to charge for seeds, right? And all you have to do is send me a bubble, you know, write me an email, send me a bubble, and there you go. You know, you get your seeds for free instead of having to pay for some of them. Now, I still give some for free, okay, but there are those. I got like 3 pumpkins that I'm going to be charging for this year, plus charging for my world record butternut. Whereas if I had subscribers, enough subscribers, I wouldn't. Yeah, you want the world record butternut seed? Here you go. There's you a couple of them. Have fun, enjoy. Okay, because that's how I am. The more that I have that I can give, the more I give. Okay, because that's just, I mean, you know, I got the group that we're going to be making for veterans here locally in the community, and that's going to be, you know, the veterans will come, they'll get seeds from me, from the things I've grown, and they'll learn how to grow it, whether it's on YouTube or, you know, messaging me or on Facebook or whatever. Okay, and we'll teach them how to grow it, and we're going to teach them a skill to heal. Okay, because that's what we're going to call it, a skill to heal. So you see, when y'all are helping me, okay, through my YouTube channel, all right, and getting me more subscribers, you're not just helping me. It's not just going to be a benefit to me. It's going to be a benefit to my subs. It's going to be a benefit to the community that I live in. It's going to be a benefit to the veterans of West Virginia, and who knows, maybe even bigger than that eventually, right? So just kind of wanted to square some of that stuff up, you know, but I do encourage each and every one of you, get out there, grow, have some fun, okay? And you know, don't let wintertime stop you. Man, alive, look at that. Looking good. I'm going to have to get that thing in a pot. Yes, sir. I'm going to have to get it in a pot soon. But, you know, don't let wintertime stop you from growing. Have fun. Have fun. You know, I'm going to plant some tomatoes or carrot seeds here in a second. And just trying to look at where I probably should plant them. I don't know how big I can grow one of them. Maybe we should try to play with it. I know I need to go outside. I want to know what this stuff right here is. Anyways, you know, just have fun with it and enjoy it. You know, get into some of the competitions, you know, as you can. And man, I don't like how that thing is like that. There's something that ate that, or what happened to that? Like that at all. All kinds of little bugs and this stuff. Little gnats. Anyhow, I get distracted easy. Anyways, you know, I'm thankful for each and every one of you guys that are watching, that watch daily. You know, thank you very much, because you know, when y'all don't watch, you know, and I go from having 30-some people watching every day to, you know, 9-10 people watching every day. You know, it hurts a little bit. It does hurt it hurts the channel a little bit. So you know, that's why I thought, well, I better continue to grow all winter long. You know, and I know it's been kind of slow here lately, but I'm trying to pick it back up and trying to get things back on track. All right, so planted the black nebula right here in that area, right there. The little fingers. Bam. Little finger carrot we planted back here in that corner on the other side of the stick. And then this Mizuna Bini Hashi or whatever that we planted right here in the corner. So we got all that planted up, and we'll see what happens, see if it grows good, see if it germinates this time.
Dad, I want to do it.
We're done, baby. All right, so anyhow.
Where are we going to get that?
Why not? All right, so on to the next. All right, guys. Well, it's the end of the video, and we appreciate you watching. We'll see you tomorrow right here in the Hollers and Hills of West Virginia.
Don't forget to smash that like button. Hit that notification bell. Don't forget to share.
Thank you, good sir.
You're welcome. And subscribe.